things we do here. First, opening up, although this year I couldn't do it the day I arrived. I didn't have a new flag, so I had to order one so I could have the raising of the flag ceremony as soon as possible. And so today we took care of business. I'm one of the first flags in my little neighborhood here. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I like going live in the vertical mode of YouTube because I know it shows up in the shorts feed and I get to connect with people that already aren't subscribed to the channel because we're going to grow this channel, this Island Life channel. It's a different, really different subject matter than my other channel, which is all personal growth, self-improvement. I guess there's a little overlap there, but mainly this is about island life vibe. It's about that summertime feel, living on a private island. What's that like? What are the challenges? What are the rewards? And that's what this channel is all about. Getting back to nature, stunning views. That's what it's going to be like all this summer here on Elm Tree Island. I am live, everybody. There are no notes. There's no teleprompter. It's just me. And in this day and age of, well, AI created bullshit, you know, all of us, I think, most of us, we really crave authenticity. What is real? What is fake? And one of the ways that I can connect and anybody can connect with people now on a real basis is one way is to go live, turn on the damn camera and be yourself, who you actually are. And that's kind of the best way to show up, even with our family, friends, and people that we meet on the street or in real life, right? IRL. In real life, when we meet people, we want to be with that authentic person. So being real with people that we're connecting with. And now it seems that's the best way even to connect on a device with other people. Of course, the best way to connect with people is one-on-one, sitting down at a table right across from each other, right? Over a cup of coffee, over a cocktail maybe, looking eye to eye. That's the best way. But the next best way really is something like this. This is a connection. We're able to connect with people halfway around the world, all the way around the world, just by turning on our camera. So it's kind of never been a greater time to be a creator, to be someone that needs to connect with somebody that they're not physically with. And now we have that ability. So we got our flag up today, everybody. It's kind of a big deal on the islands. All of us fly our flags. And not too far from here is the Canadian side of the river. And you could probably, hey, thanks for checking in here. I know some of you are showing up in the shorts feed. And right across there on the St. Lawrence River here in upstate New York is the Canadian side. So as soon as you get to that side of the river, you start to see the Canadian flags. And there's actually the line runs right down the river. And well, let's take a walk down the end of the island. I got my flag up today, everybody. Got the American flag up. And something I usually do when I first arrive on the island. I came here May 8th. Hey, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we are building this Island Life channel up. If this kind of vibe resonates with you, being on or around the water, in or around the water, then you're in the right place. If you like stunning views, you like fishing, boating, those kinds of things, that's what this channel is about. So, hey, subscribe. We're going to build this channel. Right now we're only at what, 260 subscribers. Yeah, let's get a few more thousand going today. Huh? What do you think? I think big. That's what I do. So here's the other end of my island, everybody. If you check the rest of the channel out, I got some drone footage. You'll know exactly how big my little island is. And I say little island. Mine's one of the little islands, really. I mean, there's some tinier than mine. But, the islands range from huge castles to small islands like mine. And right behind me, well, not right behind me, but way over there is Singer Castle. And Frederick Bourne, he built that castle in 1905. At the time, he was on the board of Singer Sewing Machine, so it became known as Singer Castle. It's also been called Georgetown Island, Dark Island, but it's more famously known as Singer Castle, even to this day. Hey, I want to acknowledge, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I'm filming a new series this summer called Elm Tree Island. And so every week I'm going to be putting out a video based on what's gone on that week, the different challenges and with boats and boating and some of the islands that I visit and some of the landmarks that I visit. Hey, Alaska, Russia, what's up? All around the world, drink vodka. Oh, you betcha. I've been drinking vodka at night because you know what? USSR flag is the best. I like that. You have pride in your country. We should have pride in our country. And hey, listen, you want to have pride in property and country? Well, that's what you're going to see on this channel, everybody. I'm so glad you're checking in. And let me tell you, vodka is needed. I'm going to tell you, Stolishnia. A little Russian vodka would be great. I actually haven't had any since I've been here at the island, but it's been cold enough. Just 4 days ago, I woke up in the morning, it was 39 degrees. Today, it feels 60. I think last time I looked, it was 53, 54, but there isn't much wind today. So I get to walk around the island, put the flag up, and I'm broadcasting, I'm streaming live outside, and it feels really, really warm because when you're out here on the island in the middle of the St. Lawrence River, upstate New York, the wind can pick up really quick. And even though the temperature on the mainland may be 50, 55, it feels 40 out here in the middle of the wind. But right now with the wind very calm, oh, and you can hear the birds singing and chirping. It's very, very comfortable right now. It's very comfortable. This is my grandmother bought this island in the 1940s. That's one of the original fire pits that she had put in here, 1940s. And that's the cottage. So the end of the island isn't much longer than what you see right here. And it's a beautiful place. This whole area is beautiful. This is the St. Lawrence River, and it's known as the Thousand Island region because in this 25-mile stretch of the St. Lawrence River is 1,864 islands. And mine is one of them. It's a private island. It's just me on this island. It's been just my family. And like I said, my grandmother bought this island in the 1940s for like 500 bucks. And so it stayed in the family. She handed that down to my mother and then to me. So I'm here streaming live from the island. Going to be filming a new series from my island, Elm Tree Island. You can actually look it up on Google Earth, Elm Tree Island, Hammond, New York. But I want to stream live for a couple different reasons. I get to connect with people who aren't already subscribed to the channel. It's a way of expanding my reach. And we want to build up this channel. So, it's different from my other channel. This is all going to be dealing with life in, on, or around the water. If that's something that resonates with you, if you've been to this area, you know the magic of this area. And if you haven't, you might want to visit sometime. And I'm going to be taking you around this summer. I'm going to be filming some spectacular spots. And I may even take a couple trips to Canada, which by water, I can be in Canadian waters in about 5 minutes. It's about a mile and a half away. I don't know if you can hear that boat. It's early in the season. Most of my island neighbors are not here yet. They're not on their islands. I'm kind of alone here. A couple of people on the mainland and their cottages are here. And I just went over and gassed up. So my gas lady at the gas dock, she agreed to come down. Even though the store isn't open yet on the mainland by where we park our cars, she agreed to open up and let me gas up my boat. And, when you're talking about marine gas, you're talking in the $6 range. So, wow, big bill gassing up the boat. But I have to have a boat. I got to have numerous boats. I always want an extra boat in case of a medical emergency. Just watching a boat go between two islands that normally you can't get through safely, but the water is very high. It's probably 3 feet higher than normal. But you want to get close to nature. I want to show you right over my shoulder here when he comes back up. I got a pair of loons that have been hanging around the island. That guy's boat is really loud. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm sure you can. Where's that loon? He's going to pop up somewhere here. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, listen, we're building up this Island Life channel, very specific. If you resonate with life on, in, or around the water, you're in the right place. I'm on one of the 1,864 islands in the Thousand Island region, where the name of the dressing came from. I just It's a story I'm surprised not everybody knows about. 1905, when George Bolt was building a castle for his wife downriver here, and he had the captain of his yacht come up with the ingredients for Thousand Island dressing. And at the time, George Bolt was one of the owners of the original Waldorf Astoria in New York City. And he took that Thousand Island dressing recipe back to his restaurant, and it was such a hit. He kept serving it there, and then it became worldwide known. And now you know the history of Thousand Island dressing. There's one of those beautiful loons right there. I don't know if you can see that loon. Sometimes you just have to hear the quiet of nature. You have to be alone with the solitude. And believe me, I get alone with the solitude here on the island. It can be quite, I don't, you're alone, and it can be quite lonely, but then people come in. I have my stepson coming in, I have my mom coming up, then I have a couple of cousins that are coming for a week. And then I have some of my old friends from Los Angeles, California. They're coming out for a week. And so through the summer, I get quite a few visitors. So then I enjoy the times in between when I'm alone and I can do chores on the island. And now you know the rest of the story. But right now we have not picked up any summer weather yet, although come Monday, it'll be all right. Come Monday, it's supposed to be 80 degrees, I think, for 2 or 3 days. That's going to be fantastic. It's been very, very cold, especially at night, and in the daytimes have not been that pleasant. But I've only been here for 7 days. This is the week. Today is a week. All right, I'm here on my island, everybody, Elm Tree Island. We're filming a new series this summer. Actually, I'm filming it. I'm the cast, crew, director, and producer, and I'm filming it just for you. So subscribe so you know when the next videos come out. This happens to be showing up in the shorts feed because I'm going live vertical on YouTube, and it shows up in the shorts feed, and that's maybe how you're finding me. And I like to go live in the shorts feed because I get to connect with people who aren't already subscribed. People jump in and out, and it helps me expand the channel. And you can help in that regard. Just hit that subscribe button. You can smash it hard. Hit that bell so you're notified when the next video comes out. I'm Cliff Yates. I'm in upstate New York. This is the United States of America. I'm already connecting with people in Russia, Italy, French red wine, France, around the world. And sometimes I forget that I'm live streaming around the world, and I'm actually connecting with a lot of people from other countries and areas, and they ask, where the hell are you? I take it for granted that I'm just talking to someone locally. Now, I'm in upstate New York. I'm in the US of A, although Canada is right over there. There's a Canadian side of the St. Lawrence River, and there's a New York side. And the St. Lawrence River is where the Thousand Island region is, and this is all fresh water that comes right out of all the Great Lakes. And the last Great Lake, this comes from Lake Ontario, right into here. Lake Ontario is up the river there about probably 25, 30 miles. Let's say probably 30 miles is Lake Ontario. And all that water dumps into here. In other words, Niagara Falls jumps into Lake Niagara, and that ends up going into Lake Ontario, and it comes here. So from the Great Lakes, all this fresh water rushes by me right here in Chippewa Bay, New York. And then it continues on north past Montreal and out into the Atlantic Ocean. Subscribe to the channel, everybody. Come on, you're joining a community of island life vibe, baby. There's going to be stunning views this summer. I take a lot of drone footage of the island in the area. I'm getting better with the drone, so I'm going to be taking more drone footage. And if you go to the trailer of my channel, you'll see that I just took some recent drone footage as the new trailer for the channel. And so I think you're going to like it. And a lot of people want to know, well, how big is the damn island and where are you exactly located? And matter of fact, the other day I was able to fly my drone from here right out to the shipping channel over one of the big freighters. And I put that up on the channel. All right, everybody. I'm so glad you're stopping by here. Chippewa Bay, New York, upstate New York, US of A. Yep, you're in the United States with me right now. Together, we are connecting. Help the channel out. No money. Just hit that subscribe button. And I got a lot of great content that's going to be coming out if you resonate. I like to leave all the mistakes in. That's what's nice about going live, right? There's no notes, no teleprompter. What I'm telling you is actually from me. No AI generated bullshit. It's always raw and real with me. Take it or leave it, like it or not. I'm going to be who I am. You be who you are, which I know is going to be subscribing and leaving a lot of positive comments. I'm wishing that upon you. This is fresh water, so there's no sharks or nothing in this water. It is known as one of the best bass fisheries in the US of A. I mean, it is freshwater, so smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, northern pike, muskellunge, walleye, what else? Perch. These are the kind of fish that we have here in the St. Lawrence River. Yeah, the Seaway, the St. Lawrence Seaway. And the St. Lawrence Seaway was built, I think, in the 50s when they created locks so that the ships could come out of the ocean and they go through the locks to raise and lower their level to the level of the river, and so that they could now sail their ship and their contents up through to the Great Lakes and make their deliveries. All right, and the Great Lakes, you know how you remember the Great Lakes? If you remember Holmes, that's, oh my God, what is it? Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior, Ontario. Yes, that's it. All right. It's hard to remember the, oh yeah, Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior. Great Lakes. All right, that's how you remember it, Holmes. You're here in upstate New York, everybody. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the chat where you're at in the world. I saw Russia's there. Alaska's around the corner here. Hey, I got somebody pushing their vodka, their Russian vodka, Stolishnia. And I'm not a big drinker. I haven't had a drink in a week, as a matter of fact. I do like a glass of wine or two, you know, with friends and, you know, during or after dinner. Not a big drinker, but a lot of people on the islands are. So when I go visit and they invite me over for dinner, hey, I'm social. I'll have a cocktail or two with them. You know what I mean? So I'm able to do that, right? And not get too hammered. Because let me tell you, hammered and in your boat coming back here at midnight is not a good mix. But I do, having come, I've been coming up here to this region in the islands, specifically Chippewa Bay, for over 55 years. So I know these waters like the back of my hand, and you have to around here. This area of the river, which is probably the widest of the St. Lawrence River, because it's about 5 miles from the New York shore all the way over to the Canadian shore. But in this area, there's a lot of shoals, a lot of rocks underneath the water, and you got to know where they're at. Not very many are marked, and so people tear out their props and their lower unit of their motors, and they get pissed, and they don't ever want to come back around here. And some of the locals like it that way, but you know, most of the shoals you can see on your GPS, and most of the boaters now have GPS, and so they can safely travel these waters. But there are shoals that aren't on the GPS charts, and you kind of have to know where they're at, and you learn it by sometimes mistake. You know, when you hit a shoal, you know exactly where it is, and you remember that. I have not hit any shoals, luckily, but my mom has, and people that have come up here and visited have, and friends and family and neighbors have, and I learn from them. That's the great thing about knowledge. You do not have to learn from your own experience, but you can learn from your own experience, and you can learn from other people's experience. And when it comes to hitting shoals, it's better to learn from other people. Hey, what'd you hit and where was it? I want to see it because I don't want to hit it. A lot of times when we're exploring different waters, we take the jet skis, because the jet skis, you know, have no propeller. They have an impeller. So the jet skis only need a few inches of water for safe boating. So you can kind of explore and look at the shoals and see how they are. Let's take a walk back towards the dock, back towards the cottage. So we're walking the island right now. We're walking the island. I got to clean up all this goose shit, you know, before we arrive, or I arrive now by myself. The geese are quite heavy. around here until they get discouraged. When life comes around, they get discouraged and they kind of head out. Right now, the water is very high, which is good. People mostly like the water to be high, but not too high. We had 2 years of flooding where I had my septic tank wiped out. So I had to actually come up with a state-of-the-art septic system here on the island. This is actually the leach field right here. It's 30 feet long, 10 feet deep of pea stone, where, well, the wastewater, when it comes there, it's all clear already based on my system, which is unbelievable. It was a lot of money. It was about $35,000. But luckily at the time, because of, well, New York State was offering a grant for septic systems. So I was able to get a $10,000 grant to help me pay for it. There's my shed. We got a full size. I guess that's all there is, full size treadmill. I got a dipping bar, pull-up bar. I got weights here. Although I do belong to a gym here on the mainland. Well, I haven't joined up for this year yet. I've only been here a week. Right now, I only got one boat in my fleet that's here, but I have another utility boat that I have where I haul stuff to the dump. And then I have 2 jet skis, mainly for people who visit and they want to explore the island safely. I let them go around the jet skis and they don't have to know the shoals. But this old Sea Ray, I think is a 2009. It's been really good. It's steadfast, runs great. You know, Sea Rays, they're on the higher end of cost, but they have beautiful Merc Cruiser engines and they're very reliable. And I got a couple kayaks right here. I got a stand-up paddleboard on the other side. And these are the kind of things that and there's a sailfish half submerged there because the water's so high. The water's about 2 feet higher than normal, which is quite a bit. All right, everybody, thanks for subscribing to The Island Life. You're in the right place. Glad you're here. All right, everybody, thanks for checking in. I know you're showing up in the shorts feed, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'm Cliff Yates. I am in upstate New York. I am in the St. Lawrence River. This is the Thousand Island region, and they call it that because there's thousands of islands. There's actually 1,864 islands. And this is my private island. My grandmother bought it in the 1940s. It's been handed down to my mom and then to me. And now, this summer, you're going to experience a new series that I'm going to be filming. I've already done one episode on how I arrive at the island, and I arrived on May 8th. It's the earliest I've ever come. Last year was the earliest. It was May 15th, and this year I hit May 8th. And maybe we can get the flag up now that I've put the flag up. There it is. Yeah, it's kind of the flag. As soon as I get here, usually that's the first thing I like to do is get that flag up. Right? Proudly wave our flag. Tells the neighborhood, hey, we're in town. We're here, baby. We have arrived. But this year, I didn't have the flag from last year was destroyed. The winds get so fierce up here on the island. They get so fierce. I usually go through at least 2 flags a year because they start to shred. I mean, we get windstorms up here. Well, 2 years ago, we had a one that was 90 miles an hour, gusted to 100. It destroyed a lot of trees on a lot of the islands, and it destroyed docks and decks and roofing, and it was a crazy time. Right here in front of my island, it was just, the water was full of wooden plastic furniture floating by from the islands. I actually rescued 2 stand-up paddle boards and a kayak from my neighbor that had blown from what he thought it was a protected area of his island, but the winds were hellacious. And my little screened-in porch there, all the screens were blown out, totally destroyed. And of course, that wasn't much to do. Rescreening, pretty easy to do. And that's the island life, and that's why I'm resurrecting this channel, because it's dedicated specifically to life on, near, around the water. Boating, fishing, and island life. Stunning views. You're going to see a lot of stunning views that I'm going to take you to around these islands. I'm going to be taking you to the Remington studio. Frederic Remington, famous artist who became known for his cast iron bronze creations. You see him behind the president all the time in the White House. They have a Remington, the Bronco Billy thing. Well, he had a studio right near my island. And so I'm going to be taking you there. We're going to visit the Remington studio. It's going to be one of my episodes that I'm going to be filming this year. Probably going to be doing long form once a week episodes. You know, I'll film throughout the week, edit it, put it up, and then. But I am going to be going live like I am right now, just because that's how I gain a lot more subscribers. We want to monetize this channel and be able to have it support itself, so I can, you know, take on more trips and film more stuff. And so please subscribe to the channel. You can support the channel. No money, just hit the subscribe button. That's all I ask. And if you love life in, on, or around the water, then you're in the right place. Boating, fishing. How about stunning views? Island vibe, baby. The island vibe. You're seeing me live in the Thousand Islands, New York. That's right. I'm in New York State. Everybody, thanks for checking in. I want to acknowledge your presence. What do I got? 3. All right. I got 3 people here listening. Let's get about 4,000. All right. Chime in, everybody. I know people are jumping in and out of the shorts feed, which is exciting because then I get to connect with people who aren't already subscribed. And that's what it's all about, expanding and expansion. You know, all of us, our human nature is to expand our area of influence and express. We want to expand our knowledge and express to other people, connect, community. And that's what it's all about. Hey, I'm not always the most outgoing person, but listen, after you're isolated on the island for a while, you want to get off and commune with other people. So, hey, happy Friday. I might do that today. I might get off the island myself. I might just go. There's a restaurant not too far from here. They're open for the season already. I can go for fish fry by boat, and I can take you with me. These are the kind of things I'm going to be doing all summer long. Hey, if that's your vibe, the island life, the island vibe, it's almost like those channels, right? Those people who are solo sailing, right? I'm solo on a private island, but you join me, and then we got a family going, you and me. And so I'm going to be building this channel up one person at a time. You're the next person. Hit the subscribe button. Come along with me. I have 2 channels. One has to do with positivity, self-improvement, personal growth. But I created this one specifically for the island life and basically life on, in, or around the water. And listen, when you're on the island here, you're constantly on, in, and around water. This is a small island. Now, I can only live here 5 months plus out of the year. Maybe 5.5 months is about as long as I could stretch it. I actually do close up the island in October, and it does freeze over here on the island. So when I leave in October, I take out, well, my plumber comes and he takes out the water pump. He flushes out all the pipes. He puts antifreeze in the toilets, and he flushes out the pipes of the septic system. And we do a little few things to close up the island. Now, I do get my Wi-Fi from that castle right over there, that castle, Singer Castle, and I receive the Wi-Fi right up there. That's my receiver. And I agreed to let them put a transmitter in the crook of my cottage. So now I also transmit Wi-Fi, and because of that, I get a deal. And because of that deal and my agreement to keep my Wi-Fi on all year round, even through the winter, then I get a deal on my Wi-Fi, and I get strength enough that I can always have cameras up here. People really don't go on the islands during the winter or steal or break in. It happens very rarely. Hey, if you're going to break into a cottage, I mean, they're going to break in on the mainland, right? If you want to steal shit, it'd be very work intensive to take things out of a cottage here on the water and then carry it on by boat somewhere else. The chance of you getting caught is greater. It's a lot more work. You can just break into a place, you know, on the mainland, because even in the wintertime, the mainland cottages are usually, they're vacant. But listen, my island is not something that you're going to find anything of great value in, you know, except for sentimental value. And I mean, if you're going to take a couple TVs, maybe worth what, $300 or $400, that's about all you're going to get. As far as any great value out of the island, you're not going to get much. So there's not a lot of break-ins. I mean, people don't really get on the islands to explore. Once in a while, because it's the off season in the fall or winter or spring, people explore the islands, but it's less and less because now people realize that a lot of people have cameras and, people don't want to be on camera, checking out the islands. But, it's not uncommon sometimes for people to go around during the off season, peer in windows, and, they just want to look and see what the cottages are like. And that's okay with me. I don't care. But I don't get anybody on. I would know when people come on when my plumber comes on to close up, I'm already gone. But I have a motion detection and then it records like a minute. And so I see when my plumber comes on. So I always know my camera's working and it's recording properly. And I haven't had anybody in the past. Well, I've only been running cameras on my island for about 5 or 6 years steady. And I have had nobody come on the island. I haven't even docked up on my dock at all because I would be. I got I got a Wi-Fi camera right out on the dock. I got one on the shed facing this part of the island. I got one facing the other part of the island. I got one facing out a window. And so I would know if somebody was even just walking around on the island. So no one's done it in 5, 6 years. So all the islands are pretty secure. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, everybody. You are in the right place. Elm Tree Island, New York, Thousand Island region. I'm in the United States of America. Come on over here to the this other deck here, the channel side deck. You can see right there is my ladder. All I do is flop it over and I can get right down in the water. And then this water here is about, well, right now the water's high. So, but if I go on where we swim, I would, if I go right down in here, it's about, I go to that shelf right before it drops off and the water's about up to my high waist. Right now it would be high waist. So it's kind of great for swimming, taking your outdoor shower. And then if you step off the edge, it immediately drops down to about 12 feet. Probably now it's 12 or 15 feet. But in the summertime, it's normally about 8 to 10 feet. And there's no weeds out there, so it's beautiful swimming. This is clear, clean water here in the St. Lawrence River. It's really, really clean. And hey, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, everybody. Come on. We're building a channel. We're building a channel that has the island vibe in it. And it's all about life in, on, and around the water. And if that resonates with you, then you're in the right place. Kind of interesting stuff. If that's what if that's your vibe, man. And I hope it is. Some people ask about our electricity. See that electric box right there? That's how we get our electricity. See the pipes? The electric lines come right underneath the water from over there. So that's one of the questions I get. Hey, how about electricity? We got electricity back in the 80s. And you had to pay so much a foot for the last place where the electricity was put in. So we paid per foot from that area to here. And then the next island up at the time was my uncle's. He paid so much a foot to lay electric wires to his island. And now all the islands that have any kind of, that people spend any time on, they all have electricity. And so that's how we get our electricity. And then the water, we have a water pump. Same thing. Pipe is in there. Water pumps into there. Pumps into the hot water heater. And pumps into my filter system. Last year I actually bought a very expensive, over $2,000 water treatment system. Basically it's 2 big filters. Water's coming in. And then it goes through 2 big filters. And then it goes through an ultraviolet chamber. And that kills everything in the water, that ultraviolet light. It kills everything, and so far so good. And it's been a godsend. I wanted this for about 5 years because, hauling heavy jugs of water, it's a pain in the ass. You got to do it basically once a week. And these big jugs, 5 gallon jugs, whichever ones you have for your system, they're getting away to 40, 50 pounds, these damn things. So, not to have to, lug the water jugs around has been a godsend. I had a lot of visitors last summer that they weren't that comfortable. The water comes out of the river. I don't think I'm going to trust it. So some of those people that visited, they brought their own water, which God bless them. Most of the visitors only come for 3 days to a week. And so they don't mind bringing their own water. but they could sure drink it. I drank it all summer last year and never sick, nothing. And then, and so it's not a point of use system. It's actually the whole house is drinkable, which is what I wanted, because what happened was we were bringing our drinking water, but yet we were brushing our teeth with water that was filtered, but it's from the river, and it was not going through an ultraviolet light, killing everything. So I wanted to get that system in, and I think it was safer. And now I feel good about it, and I'm so happy I got it. If you haven't already, tell me where you are watching from, everybody. We got another question. I got to answer it. In Yucatan? No, it's not the Yucatan. This is upstate New York. This is New York State in America, the United States of America, everybody. This is the Thousand Island region. Now, today, unfortunately for you and me, this day here is overcast, gloomy. There is hardly any sunshine. We did actually have the sun peekaboo through for about 20 minutes, off and on through the clouds. But basically, you see the clouds. It is a gloomy, overcast day. Not that cold. It's probably 55. I bet it's close to 60 now. It feels probably warmer than it is because there's no wind. And I think it's only about 55 degrees, but it feels about 60 plus because of no wind. And so today we took care of some island chores by going to the mainland and getting the boat gassed up. These are some of the things I have to do. And then I had to get the mail because I knew my flag was delivered. And that's usually one of the first things I do is put up our flag, our American flag. And I couldn't do it when I first arrived here because last year, the last flag got destroyed through high winds and I hadn't replaced it. You know, this year I'm going to remember to order a new flag in the fall before I leave, so that next spring when I come, God willing, I'm still alive, then I will have a flag here waiting for me so I can have my flag raising ceremony right off the bat. One thing you have to get used to sometimes is the quiet, getting alone with your thoughts and quietness. If you're a reader, someone who likes to read, not be bothered, this is the place for you. It's paradise. You can't hear a car. Someone could honk a horn on the mainland. You can't hear it. What you're going to hear is birds. You're going to hear water lapping up against the rocks. You're going to hear a lot of birds in the summer, maybe some bees going by. You're going to hear the flapping of the flag against the flagpole. You're going to hear the splash of fish jumping outside your window. You're going to hear the seagulls fighting with each other every evening. You're going to hear the cry of the loon. I'll make sure I film that for you this summer. The cries of the loon, the moonlit nights. Hey, you got to be a part of this community. Sign up by subscribing. Leave a comment. Let's blow this channel up. Listen, I watch some channels. I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody else, but I've been watching some of these old geezers on these other channels. They have no energy. They have no enthusiasm. Yeah, they're not that positive. They're so monotone, and they're sitting in their freaking chairs in front of a tree. I mean, I'm here in one of the most beautiful places in anywhere in the world, the Thousand Island region. We're going to be filming some beautiful, stunning locations. Hey, subscribe to the channel. I mean, some of these other channels, not trying to throw shade on them. I'm just being real with you. Some of these boring bastards in their channels. I'm looking at thousands of viewers. They got 50,000 subscribers. I'm thinking, what the hell? I can barely watch this person for 2 minutes. I don't know what the algorithm is showing their videos to people for. I'd rather watch paint dry. That's how much energy some of these people have. So if that's not for you, then this is for you. Life in, on, or around the water. Someone who's got some energy, some vigor, some enthusiasm. That's me. Let's connect. If this resonates with you, then subscribe to the channel. Become part of the family. And I think this is going to be a great season of Elm Tree Island Season 1, where I'm going to be filming specifically for this island in the whole area. It's going to be great. Glad you're here. Oh, I'm glad you're here from Alaska, Russia, all around the world. You're welcome here. I'm so glad you're here. Subscribe to the channel, everybody. You're in the right place. Thousand Islands, New York. I don't know if there's a more beautiful spot. I'm sure there is. I've seen some. I've been in the Caribbean, Key West. Those are beautiful spots. I guess I love life on, in, or around the water. And so that's what my channel's about. On, in, or around the water. If that resonates with you, if you like the island vibe, this is going to be great for you to be a part of this community. Hey, listen, we're just starting to get this channel kicked in. I mean, we are baby size right now, but you can help us grow. Subscribe to the Island Life channel. What do we got? Like 260 subscribers now. Come on. Let's get this thing going. I'm going to go live for a while because I want to reach out to as many people as I can this morning or this afternoon. I'm sorry. If you have any ideas or where you'd like me to film or what you'd like to see on some of the episodes, I've put out one episode on the playlist that is season 1, 2026 for Elm Tree Island. And I was just filming what it's like when I first arrived to the cottage and what I see when I first get inside, what I have to do to finish opening up the cottage. And so I already filmed that one. And so give me some ideas. I think when I have a beautiful sunny day, I'm going to take some drone footage again, showing the size of the island, where I'm located, and then I'm going to take a tour inside the cottage, and I'm going to do an explanation of everything that's inside, together with some B-roll of the outside, and give people a feel, you know, from where I'm located in the world geographically, and then what it's like inside the actual cottage itself, where the bedrooms are, how they came to be, what is the history of this place. And you know, the island itself was bought by my grandmother in the 1940s, and she had this cottage built with the original. These are original stone. These are all granite individual stones that were taken from a nearby quarry, and that's how they built the original cottage that my grandmother originally had built for duck hunting only, because she had another cottage on the mainland. And so this was her duck hunting cottage. And now it's my permanent summer residence that I'm going to be bringing you along with. So I'm glad you're here. You're in the right place. Hey, thanks for joining up. Let me know where you're at. Come on, I got people from Russia. I got Alaska. Who else is going to jump in here? I'm in upstate New York. Hey, that's where I'm at. Let me know where you're at. Subscribe to the channel. We are really growing this channel. We're only at 260 right now. Let's keep it going, man. I want to get this thing going. We want to get rocking before summer rolls in, baby. And so let's share this with people who you think might want to subscribe to the channel. It's going to be life in, on, and around the water. Hey, it's going to be boating. It's going to be fishing. It's going to be going to some stunning locations, stunning views, some historical places. And I'm going to visit these places and I'm going to film them for you. And it's going to be on my new series. It'll be on the playlist for the channel, Elm Tree Island 2026, season 1. Hey, let's make this an active part of the whole channel. You give me ideas, what you'd like to see filmed, questions you have about matter of fact, I think I'm going to go live later in the horizontal form, and I'm going to take some questions and answers live and in person. Right here from the island, and I'll make sure I have a backdrop of the water. Sometimes I do my podcast on my other channel and I film it inside the cottage. It's kind of a nice backdrop. But tonight I think I'm going to do a question and answer. If I'm not out in the town, I may feel like going out tonight. It is Friday. Happy Friday here on the island. So I might want to go out to a fish fry. I'm not quite sure. All right, everybody. That's it. See you in the next video.